Okay, while if this condition is satisfying only, it is going to print the statement. But now if you see this one, it is first going into do loop. Okay, it's printing this b, it is incrementing the b value. After that, it's checking the condition, meaning it will first execute the statement and only then it will check for the condition. So with this, we are ensuring that this block is executed at least once. That is this meaning. It first executes a statement, then checks the condition. So whenever you run this method, for sure it will be executed at least once. That is, this 17th number line will be printed always. But if you go to the while loop, 10th number line will be never executed until and unless this condition is satisfied. Did you get the difference? You can put it in the chat window. Just put yes or no. Cool. Okay. Okay. Cool. Nitish, even you also like. Otherwise, just stop me if you don't understand. Okay. So this is your while and a do while loop. While loop means like it just check the condition. If the condition satisfies, you execute the state. You execute the piece of code. But do while means it first executes some piece of code and then check the condition. If the condition is satisfying, then it will go again and it will check and it will print the statements in the do block. That's it. So that's why these are called looping statements. You check the condition, again execute the code. Check the condition, execute the code. Okay. So while and do while. Next is a for loop. This is a pretty straightforward one. Okay. Let's take some array of integers. So array, string, all these are data types. So like what do you call it? Those are again different concepts. We are going to cover them more in detail when we're going to work with advanced Java. So let's say I have declared some array of integers. Okay. So that has these many numbers in it. I want to print all the numbers. So what should I do? I first initiate one index here, starting from 0, and then iterate it over the whole length. So since this is an integer array, I can make use of array.length method. Okay, let's see. Array length is AR. ARR is the variable value. So whatever you want to do with this with these numbers, you need to access them with your variable only. Okay. So this is ARR array, and you want to know the length. Just put a dot. Eclipse will show you the suggestions. So what do you want to do with that array? If you want to calculate the length, dot length. If you want to get the class of it, get class. So whatever like let's say tomorrow you declare a string object. Okay. A string variable, and if you want to do some operations on the string, just put the variable and put a dot. You're going Eclipse will show you all the methods which are within the variable. So if you want to find a length of the string dot length. If you want to compare it with another string, string dot compare. Meaning like you need not memorize all the methods which are present here. That's the beauty of IDE. Okay, with your IDE, it will show you suggestions what to do and how to declare them. So let's say if you want to calculate this, if you want to put this as toString, right? You need to put toString and a and open close bracket here. But if you want to calculate the length, it's just a single word length, not a method. Okay, if you put length open close bracket, it'll throw an error. Now similarly, if you put array dot toString and you don't put a open close bracket, again it'll throw an error. So all these type of simple complex like simple methods, you need not memorize the syntax. Simply use the Eclipse tools. Okay. Now my index is starting from 0, and I'm going to iterate it over the length. Whatever is the length of my array, I'm going to iterate it those many times and increment the counter. And I'm going to print the print the array value. So if I go and run this application, so length is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Index will start from 0, and it will print all the variables here, all the values within the array. Now let's so this is the classic for loop. Like whenever you define a for loop, you just first define the index on and it should go like you need to define how many times the loop should be going on, and you increment the pointer here, the index value. So this is a classic for loop syntax. Or declare the index, run through the values, or just run through the length, comma, increment. Okay. So now from Java 7, we have something called as for each loop. Okay. That means you need not define the length of the array and you not increment the pointer. Simply write it in this syntax. For just declare your index and pass in your array object. That's it. It will take care of everything. Okay. So if you see here, for initialize, expression, and increment. So but if you take this simple for each loop, just pass in the array and just declare one object and access all the array elements within this object. So if I go and print this one, I'll get the same output. So this is a simple way of writing your loops. Instead of you declaring, running through everything, like running through everything and incrementing them, you can simply write this piece of code. So how to write it? Like suppose tomorrow if you forget the syntax, right? Again, you can use as I told you, you simply use the Eclipse shortcuts. FORE. FORE is the syntax. Use a control and space. It will give you. If you just hit enter, it will give you the method signature itself. So for each, iterate over an array or iterable. For int I and array, this is going to be a code snippet. Just hit enter. That's it. So you need not memorize everything. You just need to know what to use and where to use. Again, if you want to print out SYSO, control space, give some name, print the array values. You'll get the same thing. Getting it? And I encourage all of you all to run these codes within your systems also, so that you'll be you'll get familiar to the environment itself. Okay. Any doubts still here? Okay, take that as no. And now let's go with the break statement. Okay. Now let's again make use of the for loop itself. For int I equal to 1, I less than 10, and I plus plus. Okay, so that means we are iterating from 1 to 10. We're iterating 10 times, and within this for loop, I put one condition here. If I equal to 5, then break it here. Meaning, don't execute the next piece of code. Okay, so if my I equal to 1 and I less than 10, I plus plus, if I'm going here for the very first time, I equal to 1. So 1 not equal to 5, it will print 1. Next 2 not equal to 5, it will print 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If it is 5, this will be equal. It will break. Break meaning this line will be skipped now. It will not execute this line, and it will again go for the next iteration. That is 6. Now 6 not equal to 5, it will print 6. So ideally my output would be 1 to 10 excluding 5. Oh, sorry, my mistake. After this breaking, right, the whole loop exits here. Okay. I told you the continue logic, but break meaning once this is equal to 5, right, it breaks the entire loop here. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. If I put here 1 to 7, it prints up till 6. So this is a break. So if why do you use the break keyword? If you want to break your loop within a particular condition, you use the break keyword. Okay. Now let's take another example. So we are using this break statement within an inner loop, like a loop of loop. So now print I equal to 1, I less than equal to 3. So this is going to run for 3 times, 1, 2, and 3. This loop will run for 3 times. Next, we are declaring one more variable called j. It starts from 1 and again it runs up till 3. So this will also run for 3 times. If I equal to 2 and j equal to 2, only if this condition is passing, then break it here. Else, print all the statements. Now take a look at this example. So for the very first term, I equal to 1. Okay. Now it comes to second one, j equal to 1. So I equal to 2 and j equal to 2. This will not pass here. So you'll get 1 and 1. Again next, we are still in now we are still in this loop only. Okay. So we entered into this loop with I equal to 1. So for my first iteration, my I value is 1. And for my second iteration, I value will be 1, j value will be 2. Okay. So, but I is not equal to 2 here. I is still 1. So it won't break here. It will print the second 1, 2. Next. Okay, it will run now. I is still 1, and my j loop, my j counter has increased to 1 plus 1, 3. So again, this will not break. Just a minute. Again, this will not break, and it will print 1, 3. Okay. Now my inner loop has finished executing because I want to run it from 1 to 3. So j1 to 3 is this loop is completed now. So now what it will do? It will again go to the main loop. This is the first for loop. Now this execution is completed, so it will go to the main loop again. Now main loop counter will increment by 1. So now I value is 2 here. So this will start from 2. So if I equal to 2, if I equal to 2 and my j value is 1 here. Okay. So I equal to 2 and j equal to 2, but j value is not equal to 2 here. So it won't break here. It'll simply print 2, 1. My I value is 2 and j is 1. Now for second iteration, I value is 2 and j value is 2. So this will skip completely. Getting it? And I didn't try to break in this for loop. Okay, that's why it'll again go to the main for loop. It'll increment my pointer from 2 to 3, and it will start executing 1, 2, and 3. It will print 3, 1, 3, 2, and 3, 3. Getting it? Here I wrote a break within this for loop only. That's why it completely stopped here if I equal to 7. But here I'm writing a break inside a for loop. Okay, that's why even though if my I equal to 2 and j equal to 2, my program stopped here. 2, 2. It did not print 2, 2. And it went to the main for loop. it incremented the pointer to 3. So again 3 not equal to 2, and j also this is also not equal to 2. It printed 3, 1, then 3, 2, and then 3, 3. Everyone understanding? Yeah. Okay, you can unmute the mics also. Like if you're not understanding, you can just stop me there. Okay. Because these looping concepts are most important, because you're going to play with data tomorrow. So you need to know um, like just by looking at the code itself, you need to know, okay, what is the variable, what value would the variable have if I'm in this loop? Like after 4 to 5 times of iteration, what would be my value? So you need to have a clear-cut understanding. That's why I'm explaining you like line by line. Okay. If you're not understanding it, just please tell me. We'll try to explain it in a different way. Okay, I take this as yes. So this is a break statement. Okay. Now next comes your continue statement. So what is a break syntax? Simply just write your whole logic and put a break keyword here. Again, break is also a reserved keyword, so you cannot use it for a variable. So you'll simply get it. All the reserved keywords will be like it will be in bold within your Eclipse IDE. Okay. Now let's go to continue statement. The continue statement syntax is this one: continue and a semicolon. So each and every line, like whatever line you write in Java, then they end with a semicolon, excluding the conditional statements. So this is a sys out, right? So it should end with semicolon. Continue, it should end with semicolon. But this is a conditional statement, right? So it need like you need not end it with a semicolon here. Now let's say we have a simple loop here. It is running from I equal to 1 to I less than equal to 10. So this will run for 10 times. And if I equal to 5, skip the statement, skip everything. And I'm passing a continue keyword, meaning after skipping I equal to 5, then again continue the loop from 6. So this will print me 1 to 10 excluding the 5 number. So for I equal to 1, this will fail 1, 2, 3, 4. If my I equal to 5, we're giving a continue, meaning this will this will not print. It will skip the condition. It will skip the 5 value, and it will again go to the main loop. It will increment the value from 5 to 6. 6 equal to 5. This will fail. It will print 6, 6, 7, 8, and 10. So with this condition, I'm simply excluding the printing of 5. You understand? That's the meaning of break and continue. If you want to break the condition there and then and there, use a break. If you want to exclude the condition and continue the whole execution, then use a continue. Just a minute, let me again show you the example so that it will be clear for you. So this is 1 to 6 only. Now 7, 8, 19 will not be executed because it is breaking directly at 7. But if I go to continue, except 5, everything will be printed because we are asking it to continue only after the like after this condition is failing. Okay, understood till here? Just put in a chat window. Yes, no. Okay, cool. Done. Good. Okay. So with this, you complete our control statements also, and these are called your like this is a simple concept, not a concept, like just for your readability. Call it Java comments. So we have 3 types of comments. One is a single line comment, one is a multi-line comment, and one is a documentation comment. So why do we want to use these comments? I'll tell you. So now when let's say when I'm explaining you, I'm going to make use of this comment, like whatever is in green here, right? These are called your comments. So if I remove this comment line, right, it will throw an error because it doesn't know what that line means. So I need to tell the editor that, okay, this is a comment just for readability. So I put this one. This is called a single line comment. So this can be written on top of your actual logic. So whenever someone else is reading your code tomorrow, they'll get to know, okay, you have written this piece of code because you want to do something. Like tomorrow when you're working, you'll be working on complex codes. Like they will the class file, like you have many class files and you have almost 500 to 1000 lines of codes within a single class. So when they want to know what are you working on and what line of code you're working on, you simply put these kind of comments. Okay, written this logic so to do something. So for that you need to put you can make use of the single line comments. And let's say if you're implementing a new functionality, then put these comments /* hit enter. Okay, you can simply type implementing a for loop with continue statements, do something this way. So how many lines, how many times you press enter and how many times you write a line, it'll be in the comments only. But if you're using a single comment, right? If you press enter, you again need to comment them. Okay. Understanding the difference between the single line and double line. If I put enter, how many times I put enter within the same block, those many lines I can use it as comments for me. Whereas if you want to use single line comment, if you press enter here, you again need to declare it as a comment here, and then put in a comment. Okay. The next comes a documentation comment. Documentation comment means let me take let me make use of some other class. Just a minute. Okay, let's say you have a simple. This is some dummy method. Okay, I put a slash, double star, enter. This not even taking as a comment. Okay, I think I have it in another workspace, but let me show this. Okay. See this. We have a class called system, and if you see the comment here, this is called as a documentation comment. It will be in blue color / double star. Okay. You have 3 types of comments here: multi-line, documentation, single line. So this is called a documentation comment. This will tell you what this piece of code is doing. So these are several useful class fields and methods. Among the facilities provided by the so and so, you're getting the standard input, standard output, error output, and everything. And this class present since 1.0. Like since Java 1.0, this class is being present here. So if you want to know what a particular class is doing and what you are going to do with that particular class, you're going to put in this documentation comment. Okay. And I'll show you the beauty of this code now, like the comment now. If I hover on the system, this is how you'll get it in Eclipse. Just because you declared that documentation comment, if you hover on any keyword there, it will give you this documentation. Same thing, whatever you have mentioned in the .java file, it will put it in a graphical way here. Okay. So tomorrow, since you are writing this class, your author also will be automatically populated here from your system. This is a do while class. If you put this way, right, tomorrow if someone is going to use your class, and whenever they hover on the do while, it will show you this one. This is a do while class, and author is Bhavyant. This way. So to maintain your identity, because whatever piece of code which you are writing, that is most important. That is your own hard work. Okay. So you need to have your author name, and you need to write what is the class doing. Okay, clear regarding the comments. If the effective use of the most effective way to use the comments, like if you want to, like, you need to know when to use a multi-line, when to use a single line, and when to use a documentation comment. Okay. So this completes our basic keywords. Okay. Next, let's go to our object-oriented programming. Any doubts still here? Okay. So now let's talk about object-oriented programming. We know that Java is called as the object-oriented programming language, because everything, like whatever which we have discussed so far, it depends upon the classes, objects, methods. Everything it goes on. It goes on a loop. So what exactly does the object mean? Now, object is it's an entity. Okay, just take it as um, just let's not put a name also. Put it as something. Okay, object means something. You take a pen, chair, or yourself. Okay, you are an object. It can be logical or it can be virtual or real. Okay, you take it. That is called your object. A real world something which is existing, logically or virtually or real. And object-oriented programming is a methodology or a paradigm to design a program using classes and objects. So within Java, like if you've seen our codes, right? Every code will start with the class itself. Class. You open any code, it will start with the class here. Okay. So we are going to design our programs using classes and objects. Now just take a look at this example. So if you take your total OOPS concepts, you have an object. So this group of objects will going into this is called a class. And 1, 2, 3, 4. These four are called as your object-oriented programming principles here: inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. Like you must have seen in your many interviews and many videos, right? Like what are the four OOPS principles which the Java follows? These are the four object-oriented programming practices: inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. To achieve these, you need to have a class and then object. Okay. Okay. Now let's see, like as I discussed in the previous slide, what is an object? It is an entity. Like it can be physical or logical, and it should have a state and a behavior. Meaning, let's say a chair. What do you with a chair? A chair, wooden chair. Pen. What do you do with a pen? You write a pen. You play with the pen. You do something. Table. You sit on it. Draw some drawings on it. You do something. So all these are called as objects. Okay. Then what is a class? Collection of all these objects is called a class. So it is a logical entity now. So a collection of chairs, a collection of pens, a collection of tables, all a collection of all these objects is called as a class. Okay, so the class is defined as a blueprint from which you can create an individual object. So let's see if I have a group of chairs, right? Now this group of chairs will form as a blueprint for me. Let's say, let's take a pen, okay? Group of pens in a class. And if I want to write something, okay, let's say write my name. I'll simply declare one small, I'll declare an object, pen equal to new pen dot write something. Okay, so like when I'm going hands on, right, then you'll get to know. Okay, you'll get to know like what is the blueprint and what, like how to create individual objects of this of the class. And moreover, the class will not as consume any space. Yesterday I told you, right, like if you're going to declare your variables, it's going to consume a space. So but the class does not consume any space unless and until you create a variable out of it, you create an object out of it, and then use the object. Okay, now let's take what is the time? It is 6, right? Okay, so let's take let's start from the first object oriented programming. That's the inheritance. So when one object acquires all the properties and behaviors of the parent object, it's called inheritance. So you can relate it to your same again, your family chain, your grandfather and grandmother. So now if you come down the line, your parents, if you come down the line, you yourself, so you'll inherit some properties from your parents. Some your parents will be inheriting some properties from their grandparents, from their parents, that is your grandparents. So if you as an object, if you're acquiring all the properties and behaviors of a of your parent object, this is called as your inheritance. So how do you achieve this in your programming world? Okay, let me show you that. Hmm, inheritance. Okay, polygon. Okay, so now let's say polygon. What does a polygon mean? Some shape with height and some width. Okay, let's take it in that one. So polygon is some shape with some height and with some width. So what I do, I declare with height and width, and I'm going to write one simple method to set the values. Meaning, if I want to set the height of the polygon, I'm going to put the height as a. From where will I get the a? I'll pass it here. Similarly, if I want to set the width of the polygon, I'll put the width which is equal to b. How will I pass the b? From here. Okay. Now who will pass this a and b? Let's take the rectangle example. So rectangle is also a class which is extending the polygon, meaning we are inheriting the properties of the polygon. What are the properties of the polygon? Height and width. Okay. So now I declare a rectangle class and I'm extending the polygon. That means my rectangle class will have height and width. I did not declare them. Suppose if I don't declare height and width right here, this will throw me error. Polygon will throw me error because this polygon is not extending anything. It doesn't know what is height and what is width. That's why I'm explicitly declaring them. But if I go to my rectangle, I did not declare height and width here. But I'm able to use height and width here because I'm extending the polygon class, meaning I'm inheriting the properties of the polygon. That's why I'm able to access them without declaring them. Did you understand this statement? Only if you understand the statement, then we can you'll be able to understand the next coming concepts. Just put as yes or no in the chat window. Done. Okay. So in rectangle, I want to calculate the area of the rectangle. So we know that height into width is the area of the rectangle. Okay, and I'm going to create one more class called the triangle class. And even this triangle class is also extending the polygon. That means I have access to height and width. And how do I calculate the area of the triangle? Half length into breadth is the formula. So height into width by 2. So this is my area of my triangle. Okay. Now we can write something called as the main method. As I told you all, if you want to run any application in Java, you need to have a main method. So let's say this triangle. If I want to run this application, I won't get the run as Java application here because there is no main method here. So now I created a main method. Okay. So this is also class. Now now in my main method, I want to calculate the area of rectangle. So my area of rectangle is defined in rectangle class. This is my area method. So if I want to calculate the area of rectangle, first of all, call the rectangle REC. Just call the rectangle class. Again, just type RECT, control space. You'll get the suggestion there. Call the class. Create an object out of it. Put it as rectangle. Just take a look at the syntax. Okay. Call the class. Create the object out of it. So objects are always in lowercase. Classes are always in uppercase. If you see all the classes here, everything is in uppercase only. But if you see all the objects are in lowercase. So this is an important naming convention. Objects should always be in lowercase. Okay. So I called my rectangle class and I'm instantiating it, meaning I'm just creating a new rectangle class. So this is how you just declare an object of a class. Rectangle some name equal to new class. I'm getting a warning here. What is that? The value of the local variable rectangle is not used. So I declared some variable. I'm not even using it. That is the warning here. So tomorrow when you're going to work in your real-time code, right? If you find any unused variables, check the references and simply delete them. You can delete them. Okay. Okay. Now since I have my rectangle object, now I want to calculate. My aim is to calculate the rectangle area. So use the object now. RECT. Use a rectangle object dot calculate the area. What is the method name of my area? Area. It's just the area. Okay. So rectangle dot area. Okay. Now if I'm going to print this, if I'm going to calculate it this way, um, let control. Let me remove this. Okay. Just see the output now. 0. Because what is the default value for integer? It is 0. So I declared my two integer values here, and I did not assign a value to it. So by default it is 0. Okay, 0 into 0, and I'm going to get a 0. That is very much fine. But within my method, within my polygon class, I wrote something called as set values. So if I pass A and B, those will be set as height and width in my rectangle class. Okay, what is the method here? This is set values. So go to my polygon main and simply again use the same object REC rectangle dot set values, and just keep in mind that your rectangle does not have a set values method here, but I'm able to access the set values method because I'm extending the polygon. My polygon is having the set values method. So simply I can put it as rectangle dot set values. Now you can set the values here. Put as 10, put it as 20, and simply execute it. I'll get the area. Getting it? This is called your inheritance. You're inheriting the properties of a polygon into your subclasses. Tomorrow you write a square A into B. Put a parallelogram, put a trapezium. If you put whatever you want, you put them. So this class will not change. Simply just write a public class square, extend the polygon, calculate the area, height and height and height. So you'll simply pass a single value. Did you get this concept? Creating a master and inheriting all the properties from the master. If you want to create if you want to calculate the area of triangle, first of all call the triangle. Call the triangle class. Create an object of the triangle class equal to new triangle. Okay. Triangle dot set values. Set it as 10 again, 10, 20, and call the triangle dot area. Okay. That's it. Okay. Why I'm not able to print this is I'm printing only the rectangle area. Okay. Let me put as area of triangle. Rectangle dot area. Control V. Java application area of triangle is 100. 10 to 20 by 2. You're getting it simply. Whatever I want to test it, right? Simply call the class, set the values, run it. You need not go and open and pass the values here, or you need not go and open and pass the values here and calculate the area. Simply just call the class, create an object, pass the values to the object, and from that object only create the calculate your functionality. Today it is area, tomorrow it will be something. Tomorrow it will be something. Whatever something is there, do it in this single class. This is your inheritance. Extending the properties of your main class into subclasses. I took some time. Is it okay now? Is it clear?
Hi, Bhavyan. I have one doubt.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever the methods we use in parent class, is there any rule that we have to use those all methods in child class also, or else whatever the methods we want to use, we can use that?
Whatever methods you want to use, you can use them.
Yeah.
Because let's say let's say in my parent class I have set values. Okay. I don't want to use that method. Okay. I don't want to use the set values method. Now if I run this class, I get it as 0 because I didn't use the set values method. So my triangle class will not have any values. It doesn't have a width and it doesn't have a height. So by default it will be defaulted to 0. So if I calculate the area, right, 0 into 0, I'll get a 0.
Got it. Thanks.
Got it? Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. And anything else? Is it clear for everyone? Okay, cool. Yeah, we have only 3 minutes left, and the next concept is polymorphism. So even that will take time. So I can conclude the class for today, and we can continue the next steps in a next class that is on Monday.
So in the meanwhile, all you can go through the basics in Java, like what we have covered today, like loops, switch statements. Along with that, we also started working with the arrays and object-oriented programming as well. So if you go through the basics once, you will have a better idea, and you can start working on them and playing with the code as well. Yeah.
Yeah, since many people joined after we started, like I just want to make sure, like, do everyone have your local environment, that is your Eclipse, your IDE setup? because even if you're not working within this class, like if you get a free time, just try working with them. Okay.
While you are going through the basics, and if you find any doubts, or if you face any of the issues, you can bring those things into the session so that we can discuss on them and clear the doubts as well.
Yeah, I have also shared the PPTs, like whatever we have covered till date, within our group chat, so you can just refer to them. Okay. Yeah. Thank you all. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.